Dear students, today I am going to teach you a very good story, The Thief's Story by Ruskin Bond. This is the second chapter in Footprints Without Feet. This story is written by Ruskin Bond. He is a renowned Anglo-Indian short story writer and novelist. Anglo-Indian means an Indian of British descent. He was born on 19th May 1934 and is still alive, residing in Missouri. The Indian Council for Child Education has recognized his great role in the growth of children's literature in India. That's why he was awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1992, the Padma Shri in 1999, and the Padma Bhushan in 2014. When Bond was 8 years old, his mother was separated from his father. He was very close to his father and describes the period with his father as one of the happiest times of his life. But when he was 10 years old, his father died of malaria. At that time, Ruskin Bond was at his boarding school in Shimla. Then he was completely heartbroken, but later on, his mother, who had left Bond, took every care of him. In the present story, The Thief's Story, we find that there is a 15-year-old boy who is a professional thief, and he changes his name every month to escape from the eyes of the police and his former employers. This time he keeps his name Hari Singh. The other person in this story is a 25-year-old writer named Anil. The thief meets Anil. When he is watching a wrestling match, he requests Anil for a job. Being a kind-hearted writer, Anil employs Hari Singh as a cook, but Hari Singh doesn't know how to cook. Then Anil teaches him not only to cook but to write and add numbers also. One night the thief Hari Singh steals money, but his inner voice makes him restless because Anil had trusted him completely. At last, Hari Singh returns because he wants to learn how to write whole sentences. In this way, the story shows that love can transform even a thief, and he became a writer from the thief. Now, in the present lesson, I am describing the stanza, I was still a thief when I met Anil. This story is written by the narrator, the thief. And when he was a thief, at that time he had met Anil. And though only 15, I was an experienced and barely successful hand. He was only 15 years old, but he was a very professional and successful hand at theft. He was never caught by the police. Anil was watching a wrestling match when I approached him. He was about 25, a tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind, and simple enough for my purpose. Though the thief was only 15 years old, but he was very experienced, and he found that this person, Anil, who was a lean and thin fellow, 25 years old, he was looking easygoing, completely unworried about anything, and very simple hearted person, and that person was suitable for his purpose. What was the purpose of the thief? To steal money, to rob money. I hadn't got much luck of late. Of late means recently. And recently he had not got much luck, and thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence. And the experienced thief thought that he must win this young man's confidence, and when he will win this young man's confidence, then he will rob Anil. And you know that buttering is a very deadly weapon. So when Anil was watching the wrestling match, the thief approaches him and says, "You look a bit of a wrestler yourself. You look like a wrestler." Who says? The thief says, "A little flattery helps in making friends." And he knew very well that if he does flattery, then this will help him in making friends. But Anil was a writer, he was a struggling writer and very experienced person, and he thought that this 15 years old boy is buttering me, and he replied, "So do you." It means you also look a bit of a wrestler. And when the thief got this reply, he became silent, which put me off. Put me off means which made the thief silent for a moment, because at that time I was rather thin. He was actually very thin, and he thought that why Anil had called him that you also look like a wrestler. It means he understood my trick, he understood my flattery. Well, I said modestly. Then the thief was not disheartened. He was not easily going to give up, because he had caught the suitable person. So I said modestly, very humbly, "I do wrestle a bit. Sometimes I do wrestling." "What's your name?" This was the question put by Anil. The thief said, "Hari Singh." I lied. And he lied because I took a new name every month. Every month he changed his name. And this trick kept him ahead of the police and my former employers. He was never caught by the police and by his former employers. After this introduction, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers. There was nothing to talk between them. So Anil said that look at these well-oiled wrestlers who were grunting, who were growling, lifting and throwing each other about. About means here and there. I didn't have much to say, but you know that the thief's purpose was only to rob him, so he didn't know anything about wrestling, so he had nothing much to say. And if he had nothing to say, then he remained silent, and Anil found that this person is uninteresting, and Anil walked away. He started going from there. But the thief had found the person very suitable. That's why I followed casually. He followed Anil carelessly. But why casually? Because he didn't want to show that I am intently following you. "Hello again," he said. Who said? Anil said. I gave him my most appealing smile. He sought his second deadly weapon. What was his first deadly weapon? Flattery, buttering, and the second deadly weapon was his charming smile. If you give anyone charming smile, and this will help you in making friends with others. And this is why the thief gave the most appealing smile. I want to work for you. I said. I stands for whom? The narrator. Who is the narrator? The thief. Thief was changed into writer. Why? Because Anil had taught him how to write. But you know that Anil was a struggling writer. He was not earning much money. So he said, I can't pay you. I have nothing much to pay you. And the thief came to conclusion that I thought that over for a minute. Perhaps I had misjudged my man. I asked, can you feed me? If you can't pay me, can you feed me? Then Anil said, can you cook? I can cook. I lied again. Once again, the thief lied because he didn't want to lose this suitable person because he was easygoing person, very careless person, kind person, and simple enough for his purpose. That's why he was not easily going to give up this suitable person. Then Anil says, if you can cook, then maybe I can feed you. Anil took me to his room over the Jamna sweet shop. On the first floor, there was a sweet shop, and over the Jamna sweet shop, he was living there and told me I could sleep on the balcony. But the meal I cooked, he was employed by Anil as a cook, but he didn't know how to cook. That's why the meal I cooked, the meal the thief cooked that night must have been terrible, must have been extremely bad because Anil gave it to a stray dog, wandering dog. He couldn't eat it and told me to be off, and Anil told him to go away from there. But not easily he was going to give up Anil. I just hung around. He was just moving around him, smiling in my most appealing way. Again and again he was throwing his deadly weapon. What was his deadly weapon? A smile. And he couldn't help laughing, couldn't help me stop, and Anil couldn't stop laughing. Later, he patted him on the head and said, never mind, it doesn't matter. If you don't know how to cook, I will teach you. He would teach me to cook. He also taught me to write my name. Anil not only taught him how to cook, but also taught how to write his name and said he would soon teach him to write whole sentences and to add numbers. I was grateful. Who was grateful? The thief was grateful, very obliged to this kind-hearted master. I knew that once I could write like an educated man, there would be no limit to what I could achieve. In his opinion, in the opinion of the thief, if a person is an educated, then he could earn more and more money. That's why he was thinking that if he could write also like an educated person, there would be no limit of money. It was quite pleasant working for Anil. because he had not got much work. I made the tea in the morning, very simple work for Anil, and then would take my time buying the day's supplies, day's necessities in the market. And when he was shopping in the market, usually making a profit of about a rupee a day. Daily he was earning a rupee in buying day's supplies, in buying day's necessities. That was the huge amount in those old days. I think he knew I made a little money, and the thief thinks that perhaps his master knew that he was making a little money this way, but he didn't seem to mind. He didn't seem to object to it. He had no any problem. Anil made money by fits and starts. By fits and starts is a proverb. It means irregularly. It means Anil was not earning money regularly, he was earning money irregularly. He would borrow and he was always in loan because his income was not regular. That's why he would borrow 1 week, lend the next, and give the money in the next month. He kept worrying about his next check, when his check would come, because he was a writer, and when his story would be published in a magazine, then he would get the check. So he always kept worrying about his next check to come. But as soon as it arrived, the check arrived, he would go out and celebrate with his friends because he was an easygoing person, kind person, simple hearted person. It seems he wrote for magazines. It seems to whom? To the thief. That his master perhaps writes for magazine. A queer way, this is a strange way to make a living, to make a livelihood. One evening he came home with a small bundle of notes, saying he had just sold a book to a publisher. At night I saw him tuck means keep. The thief saw him keep the money under the mattress. Mattress means pad of the bed, comfortable pad of the bed. And he kept the money under the mattress. And who saw him keeping the money? The thief. And this was his real work, to rob, to steal money. I had been working for Anil for almost a month, and apart from cheating on the shopping, what he was cheating, he was daily earning a rupee. So, except from cheating on the shopping, had not done anything in my line of work. What was his real line of work? Thieving, stealing. I had every opportunity for doing so, but in his room there was not much money. That day he saw Anil coming home with a small bundle of notes. This was the golden opportunity. I had every opportunity for doing so. Anil had given me a key to the door, and I could come and go as I pleased. In the beginning, the thief was allowed to sleep on the balcony, but when the thief won the confidence of this young man, Anil, he was given key to the door also. He was the most trusting person I had ever met. And never in his life the thief had met so much trusting person, and Anil had trusted him completely. And that is why it was so difficult to rob him. And if you trust anyone, then that person is unable to cheat you, unable to rob you. But this was the profession of Hari Singh. Hari Singh was not his real name. Anil had trusted him fully. That's why it was very difficult for the thief to rob him. It's easy to rob a greedy man. He was only 15 years old, but he had much experience of theft. He was thinking that it is easy to rob a greedy man. If a man is greedy, it is very easy to rob because he can afford, he can tolerate to be robbed. But it is difficult to rob a careless man, and Anil was a careless man, easygoing person, happy-go-lucky person. If he gets something, he is happy. If he doesn't get anything, he thinks that he is lucky. So this type of person is called happy-go-lucky person, easy-going person. And it is very difficult to rob this type of careless person, easy-going person, happy-go-lucky person. Sometimes he doesn't even notice he has been robbed. Sometimes he robs the money, steals the money. But Anil was so simple that he was unable to notice that he has been robbed, and that takes all the pleasure out of the work. If you tease any person and that person gets angry, then you enjoy. But if you tease any person who always smiles, then you can't take the pleasure. And if any person steals money and that person doesn't take notice of it, then the thief doesn't get much pleasure. Well, it's time I did some real work. The real work had come to the thief. I told myself this was a decision of the thief. I am out of practice. Who was out of practice? The thief. And if I don't take the money, you know that every person, either he is the good doer or the wrong doer. When he does anything, he justifies his work. And the thief justifies that if I don't take the money from him, he will only waste it on his friends. When he gets the check from the publisher, he will only waste. So he must take that money from him. After all, he doesn't even pay me. This was the argument. That's how he was justifying his work of theft, that he must steal the money because his master Anil doesn't even pay me. So this first unit is completed. You have to write the answers of 3 questions that is given in the first unit. Okay, this is the homework.